I am just here in Muskegon, Michigan, and just here to. Well, I guess I'm here to answer any questions people might have about Driver Lady Pro. That would be Mandy Hudson or Mandy Martinez. Martinez being her married name and Hudson being her maiden name. I am her sister, Nicole. She is ahead of me, and I am younger than she is by a little over a year. She has a birthday on May the 8th, and she's only 42 years old currently, but will be 43 very soon. And I am 41, and I will be 42 this year in September. Maybe it seems a little bit silly for people who are sort of coming onto YouTube and they think, well, why is Mandy's sister making all these videos about Mandy? Why is Mandy's sister coming on here and trying to answer questions? Okay. First of all, I want you to know that I don't have a lot of time. But I happen to know that my sister has a huge community of people back home here in Michigan that are wondering what's going on with her. And then she also has a huge community of people in Chicago who really love her because she's an Uber and Lyft driver and a gig worker. And they're wondering what's going on, and maybe they might have some questions. Now, I've been live for 2 minutes, and no one has come into the chat. But if they do, I will answer any questions that you might have. Otherwise, I will be doing this again at a later date. I guess I want to give you some information about Mandy and about our family. Because a lot of people just think that Mandy is just this great and wonderful. We love Mandy. She's great. Okay, look. She is great. Okay, Mandy's always been great. She makes friends wherever she goes. She is extremely patient with people. She wants to be your friend. And she's serious about that. You know, she's serious. She forgives everyone. You could have stepped on her favorite toad outside, and she'll forgive you. You could have burnt the last piece of her pizza, and she'll forgive you. You could have accidentally fed her your mother's medicine, and Mandy's going to forgive you because that's how she is. She's very, very forgiving. It's not that she doesn't care. It's that she really believes in forgiveness, and she believes in having friends. So she's one of the most kindest people in the whole wide world, especially to people that really don't deserve it. They really don't. I mean, like, no offense, Mandy, I love your kids, and I love you and everything, but I think you've been altogether too forgiving to certain people in your life, like Jason. Oops, did I say that out loud? Anyways, Jason and I have buried the hatchet. By the way, I'm just trying to, I like to make jokes. And anyhow, the father of her children is Jason. So, Mandy is originally a military child. She and I and my father and mother and Baleen and Tommy, who are the other two, we were a military family. We grew up in, we started out in moving to, where the hell did we go first? First we went to Louisiana, obviously, because that's where I was born, duh. And we were there for 2 years. And then after we left Louisiana, let's see here, where was Baleen? Okay. Then we went to Germany where Baleen was born, okay? Baleen, you think you're so cool because you was born in Germany, but you ain't a German. Well, actually, you are sort of because we're German, but you're not a German citizen, so that's what you get anyhow. Then we stayed in Germany, and we were there for a few years. And my father was deployed to Fort Ord, California, which is over there by, you would say, Malibu area. And we lived in Fort Ord, California, which is where Tommy was born. Okay, Tommy, you were born there. Yes, you weren't born in Germany. So we had a nice house out there, and then my father was discharged from Fort Ord to go home. Okay, it was an honorable discharge, and he spent a total of about 10 years in the military, and then he was honorably discharged. And we packed up all of our earthly belongings and put them into a old green Volkswagen van, and we drove for days and days and days. It seemed like days because obviously they had 4 kids. We drove back to Michigan, okay, in this really small Scooby-Doo green Volkswagen, okay. It looked like the Scooby-Doo van, okay. It was probably even smaller than the one you see on Scooby-Doo. So we got back to Grand Rapids, Michigan, and I remember saying to my dad, "Dad, where are we going?" And he said, "Home." I said, "Where is home?" And he said, "Michigan." And I said, "Dad, what is Michigan?" So after we came back to Michigan and we settled in Michigan, we grew up, and we didn't have an easy childhood. My mother was very, very poor, okay? Very, very poor. Sometimes we didn't have a lot of food on the table, but my mother, she went out there and she planted this humongous garden. It was humongous. She made a deal with the landlord. She's like, I want to plant a garden, and I have kids. I really need to plant a garden. And I don't remember if she paid him like $25 more or something. I don't remember. But he let her plant a garden. And we had so many string beans and tomatoes, and I mean we never went hungry because my mom went out there and she planted that garden, and she canned everything for the winter. And we didn't go hungry. Later in life, after going through all sorts of drama and divorces and getting together and love and marriage and having children and everything, my mother, our mother, she come down with breast cancer. And I was driving semi-truck when I found this out, okay? And I says, whatever you need, Mom, whatever you need. If you need money, whatever you need, just ask. And so I stayed out on the road until my mother was not having any more cancer treatments, okay? I drove that Freightliner from New York all the way to California, down to Texas. I wasn't playing around, even up into Massachusetts. I drove that Freightliner. And my mom needed something, she could have whatever she wanted. I didn't care if I was eating tuna fish out of a suitcase. She could have whatever she wanted. And if her cancer wasn't doing better, I don't think I would have ever hung up on that big rig. I think I would have went right back out there. You know, I wasn't doing well with the company there because I decided to hit someone's mirror with my truck. But I could have went right back out there and just drove again for another company, okay? But my mother was feeling better, and it was Christmas time. I hadn't seen my children in a while. They let me go on, it was like the 22nd of December or something like that. I wasn't even mad. I just went in there. I was like, oh, you're firing me at Christmas? Well, Merry Christmas! You know? Merry Christmas to you. Thank you very much. And I got on that truck. I got on that bus, and I had this humongous sombrero that I had bought over there by Texas, and I wore that all the way home. I got in some trouble because I stopped to get on a train over there in Burns Harbor, Indiana, and the police saw me, and it was 2:30 in the morning or something. I had this sombrero on my head because I don't want to lose it. I got a long trip home, okay? I'm standing outside the train station, and the police are pulling me over to get this damn sombrero. What are you doing here, ma'am? I'm like, I'm trying to go to my car. Where's your car? It's over there by the trucking company. And they're like, are you drunk? And I asked them the stupid question. I'm like, do I look drunk? I got a sombrero on my head. Do I look drunk? And then I thought about that. I was like, that was probably not a good question to ask. So, at any rate, after proving I wasn't drunk, they let me go to my car, and I come home, and my mother's cancer is doing a lot better, so I decided to stay home. But later, I found a lump on myself, and I said, damn it, I've got breast cancer. So I go in there and into Planned Parenthood. By the way, I'm pro-life, and I'm Catholic, and I don't support Planned Parenthood. That's who I was made to go through by the state of Michigan because I didn't have insurance. And I thank them for the breast exam. I really do. I'm thankful for that. So just let me say that, okay? I'm thankful. I appreciate they gave me a free breast exam. I want you to know that I do appreciate that, even though I don't support Planned Parenthood for various reasons, okay? I am thankful. So I have my free breast exam, and they send me to a hospital in Grand Rapids, and I'm scared. I'm scared, and I don't want to go to the biopsy alone. And I call a friend, and she promises to go with me, and then she decides to renege. So I go to this biopsy alone. And I'm afraid. I got green stuff coming out of me, okay? Like you're not supposed to have green stuff coming out of your tatas, okay? It's just not cool, okay? And I show up and let's put her in a gown and let's get her on the table, and I'm really scared. I'm like, I don't know if I can do this. I want to throw up. They take me back. They give me a what do you call it? A mammogram. No offense to you guys. Maybe you don't need to hear this. They flatten your boob all the way out. It's like this. It's like this. Here's your camera. Okay? Here's your stuff, and there's like a plate, and they're going, and I'm like, you bitches, I don't even get a cervical exam. I don't want to have things up there that don't belong. I'm only here because I have to be, and I'm going. Scary. Scary. And then I go sit down, and a little while later they come and take me back to a room, and I'm laying on this table, and I'm really effing scared. Sorry, I know I'm supposed to be Catholic, but I curse all the time. I'm trying not to, okay? So I'm sitting here in this gown, and the doctor comes in, and a couple male students, and I'm like, no, he's send them out of here. No, this ain't happening with them in here. So they send the male students out, and it's just the doctor and a nurse in there, and they put something on my breast, and it's like almost, it's not making a noise exactly like that, but it is making a noise, and you can clearly hear it. And I'm sitting here going, how in the hell did my mother do this by herself, not even asking a friend to go with her? How did my mother do that? Because she's strong. That's how. Shut up. Go lay down. Sorry. I got dogs. So here we got me scared, and I'm supposed to be one of the strongest ones in our family. My mother's not scared. She's like, bullshit, I have cancer. I'm going to go in there. I'm going to beat this cancer, and we're going to call it a day. I'm going in there. I'm like, so, come to find out the result of my cancer test is I don't even have cancer, okay? I have something else called fibrocystic breast, whatever you call it, which means that I get cysts, okay? Well, Mandy called me about 2 years ago, and our father was dying. He was dying. She's telling me she thinks she has cancer, and I'm going, I got to deal with this. I got to deal with Dad right now. And the last thing on my mind is thinking about my sister's dying, or she could be dying. All I'm thinking about is I got to deal with Dad right now. I love you, Mandy, and I'm sorry, Mandy. I'm so sorry, Mandy. So she had found out she had anal cancer. So, but she put her treatment off for a few weeks because Dad died. So then perhaps I should have been there more for her, but she's in another state, okay? And I'm just checking in on her like I always do, and then she says she's beat the cancer. Eventually she says she beat the cancer because she went through the chemo and the radiation, and according to them, the cancer's gone. And then a year later, Nicole is calling Mandy because Mandy isn't communicating. I didn't hear from her very much, and I started to worry. Something inside of me just told me that something was wrong. So I call her up. She's like, I think I have pneumonia. I was like, that's weird. I have pneumonia. You're not even that old. I didn't believe her. Like, you don't have pneumonia. You're sick, but you don't have pneumonia. But I didn't tell her that. I should have said something to her. And she's coming to Michigan, and she's talking to her son, and they get into a fight because he smokes in front of her, and get into an argument, not a fight, whatever. And then she goes back to Chicago, and next thing you know, I got cancer. Okay, let me tell you something. It's only been 3 or 4 weeks since I found out my sister had cancer for the second time. We're here right now. It's been about 7 days since I found out that my sister had stage 4 liver and lung cancer caused by the anal cancer going into her lymph nodes and spreading in through her kidneys into her lungs. And it's metastasized, however you say that. Now, I just want to say, I could blame the funeral. We could blame the fact that we had the funeral and that she didn't get treatment for a few weeks. We could blame a lot of things. We could blame our family history. The fact of the matter is that out of the 3 of us, I gotta watch my sister go. And I sort of wish it would have been me. Because I'd give anything to keep her here. Even my life. Even though we fought like cats and dogs, even though we said a lot of bad things, even though we did a lot of bad things, even though we've done all sorts of shit to each other, I'd rather have her here. I'd rather have her here. Doctor give her 9 months to a year to live. No chemotherapy. No radiation treatment. Let's see. Mandy. She says, I want to do fun things. I got Six Flags tickets, and I'm going to use them. Don't tell me I can't. Don't tell me I can't. And if my body fails, we're going to find other fun things to do. So there's a GoFundMe page set up for my sister Mandy. We didn't set it up. Someone else did. We didn't start asking for money. Someone else decided that she was worthy. We've never had a damn thing all of our lives. Not a damn thing. But my sister deserves to go out with a bang. She deserves to see her family in New York. She deserves to go to California like she asked. She deserves to do whatever the hell she wants to do because she ain't going to be here. And if she is here, by some miracle, for God's sake, she deserves it anyways because all she's ever done is be there for everybody else. So if you could find it in your heart, the money is not going to the doctor's offices at this point in time. It's not going to feed the chemo bill right now because they have said that she will not live. And they have they have said that if her cancer shrinks by the treatment that she is getting, that maybe she could do chemo and radiation, but at this time we don't really know anything about that. But what we do know is she has a limited time on this earth. That's what we know right now. We're praying for a miracle. She still has hope inside of her that it will turn around. And so does everyone else. Because we have seen miracles happen. And if they do happen, we will be very thankful. But this is the time that we have right now. So if you could find it in your heart to help my sister Mandy, and don't think that I haven't, because I have, and I will continue to. She only has a limited time here right now. That's what we know right now. Perhaps he could last longer, but that's not what we're dealing with in our face from the doctor, what they said to us right now. I would appreciate it. Even if you only have $5, $2, if you could reach in and send my sister something. Because she deserves to go to California. She deserves to see where she grew up. She deserves to go to New York and see my sisters and stepmother. She deserves that. She only has a limited time. That's all the time she has. And we don't know what's going to happen next. But we're strong. And we're just going to have to deal with it. And we appreciate prayers. We appreciate YouTube subscribers. You don't have to give money if you just give a thought to the fact that cancer sucks. And it does. It sucks. If you just type a little "We love you, Mandy" at the bottom of here, wherever you want to. She'll see it all. Just a little feedback. Even feedback is good. Okay. If you have something in your heart that says, I like to help Mandy, it would be nice if you could give a little bit to her GoFundMe, which there will be a link to at the bottom of this page. You can find her page on Facebook. It's entitled Mandy Hudson. Sorry I didn't use the married name. I just forgot. Most of the people back home know her as Mandy Hudson. And on YouTube, her name is Driver Lady Pro. So let's give a little hand to Driver Lady Pro, who stands up for Uber driver and Lyft drivers' rights, gig workers, and everything else. Thank you, and God bless you. We'll do another update another time. Peace out.